convention?
Nah. Hey, what is up, everybody? It's John from Magic Tech Review. How are you guys doing?
I have to find your channel right now. Where'd it go?
As tall as my big sister.
Oh, it's just me. Big can hear me now. Magic will be with you in a minute, bro. Thought I told you this already, but I was muted. So my bad. Oh, Mario coming in there. Hey, John. He says hi back and he will be in a minute.
Are you tired? Try my new spicy energy drink. I'm sure it'll wake you up. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. Everyone is working super hard. We should be too. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Alright, now I'm unmuted. Alright, what is up, everybody? John from Magic Tech Review here, chilling on Discord with some friends. And we're going to be talking about Stream versus Nintendo Switch versus basically phones, laptops, anything that can really, compete with this new thing that we got going on. So what's up, man? Introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm above. That's the name I go by. You guys can call me Jay if you want. I'm in an IT world, so I know quite a lot about IT.
Okay. So I'm sure you're
Maybe
gonna
taking a
have.
look at the stream. Huh?
I said probably in the future you're gonna have like some kind of content or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. Mainly I sponsor. So, if there's stuff that we want to talk about, because like I said, I work for some of the bigger companies out there. Intel, Apple, Microsoft. So I have a good insight on like what is actually factual. Like, is it worth your money versus like, is it not worth your money? So
Okay. So the Steam Deck, man. I'm surprised, dude. I think they caught Nintendo with their pants down. To be honest with you, like, because they announced the OLED Switch for 350, and this thing is 400. So it's only $50 more, and you're getting, I don't know, man. You're getting quite a sizable kind of upgrade. You know,
you are
at
in a
least in
sense,
hardware.
but that's going to be the base model. So 399 is going to net you the 64 gig version. Now, they do say that you can upgrade the memory, which is really nice. And if that's possible, it's definitely going to make it competitive at 399. They're throwing around specs like 60 FPS on like Grand Theft Auto, but only like 34 on Tomb of the Tomb Raider. So, I mean, it's gonna really have to be like when we get our hands on it, and start pushing it. Is it overclockable? What happens when you jailbreak it? Are there things like you're gonna delay our FPS because we jailbroke it? But overall, I mean, compared to the Nintendo is, they got that whole game vibe to it. That's what the company's built around. So you're gonna get that quality game experience with Nintendo. You might not be getting the quality, but they're pretty similar. I mean, Nintendo 1080p, 30 FPS,
True.
Stream Deck like 34 FPS.
I think
It's gonna be interesting.
Steam Deck's gonna be. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be as optimized as a Nintendo Switch is, because it's gonna be running Steam OS, and then it's gonna be running all this other stuff in the background. It's basically like a PC kind of thing, Whereas the Nintendo Switch is strictly just games. So I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, Magic, for sure. You're right on the nail with that one.
And I think that's where a lot of the battery life is gonna kind of get eaten up on, because there's basically saying it's a gaming, it's literally a PC under the hood running on top of the.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was saying you have to be careful about where the price per performance comes in, because that's a new like statistic that these companies use to market their products, right? So Steam coming out with their first handheld, 399 price point, you're getting 30 FPS, right? Nintendo Switch, you're getting, the price per performance as well, but you're getting like solid 30, right? On everything, pretty much, because it's very well optimized, because you got Breath of the Wild, you got Metro, the more demanding games. But the Steam Deck lets you take other things with you. It's a full-on emulator too.
Right.
But that again hasn't been tested, so I'm not sure, how they're gonna do with the emulators.
And I'm sure it's gonna be buggy, kind of thing. It's not gonna just right off the bat everything's gonna work. Everything's gonna flow smoothly. They're gonna have to update it and this and that. It's not like the Nintendo where it works out of the box and everything is just, kind of thing.
Could be. It runs on the AMD RDNA 2, which is kind of similar chips to like what Xbox uses in PlayStation already.
Yeah.
So you can almost expect that the games are going to run, because the Steam optimization already integrates with the graphics. So you're going to have the ability to be able to play all the games pretty much just like you are launching on Steam. I'd expect it should run fine. It's just whether or not that performance is worth the value. It's gonna come down to a value thing. Do you value Nintendo's artistic ability to create video games, or do you value like being able to play like all types of games? But there are limitations with this already been announced, which are like some games are just unable to run on the Steam Deck. So, I mean, what other titles are you not gonna be able to run?
Yeah, but you're talking about Steam's whole inventory. That's the thing. Whereas Switch,
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna have restrictions and whatnot. But I'm a big Nintendo fan. Like, dude, I'm a way bigger Nintendo fan than PC. Because I grew up with Nintendo, Atari, Genesis, and all this other stuff. So I'm always rooting for Nintendo either way.
Yeah. No, great company.
Which Steam, they've been kind of like on the backs of basically they just make money for existing. They don't even they really don't even have to make anything, to be honest with you, which is kind of crazy. They're just like a provider of services, whereas Nintendo is actually making quality content, games, and all this stuff for years and years. So I don't know. And plus, is this thing going to be
My PC
actually
can't run
widely?
this game.
Is it going to be widely available? At launch, or is it's just going to be like, a few people who pre-ordered it or whatever? You're not going to be able to just walk into a store, Walmart or whatever, and buy it. So that's going to be a limiting factor too. I don't know.
It is. It's a good argument. I mean, Steam's gonna really bring it, right? But they're launching like a really good handheld besides like the PS Vita. You remember that? And like that turned heads. So we're gonna see competition come out. I mean I like Steam and everything, and it has access to Steam library and stuff, but I don't know. I think Epic's gonna probably come out there. They can partner with a bunch of different companies. Like we can start seeing like Asus fucking
Look at that.
portables and stuff.
We got Maniac Games coming in with $5 donation. Thank you so much, Maniac Games. Really appreciate it. All the funds go to Little John, my nonverbal autistic son. So thank you guys.
We agreed that you get shocked with the donations, right?
Hold on, one sec.
My PC can't run this game. That was a banger right there, Manic, for sure.
Well, Maniac Games has an older gaming PC apparently. So he's but he can run on a PS4, so you can come join us on PS4, bro, whenever you download it or whatnot. I think it runs pretty decently. I don't know. I haven't done it myself for Genshin. Have you had anybody, or have you had any experience with PS4 with Genshin?
PS4?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Because everyone switched over to PS5 now.
true.
Give me 1 second though. Let me go get my food. Just came here.
Okay.
Be right back.
So yeah, and as far as like Steam Deck versus like mobile phones, obviously Steam Deck is probably gonna be, I'm guessing the better choice. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can run a lot of stuff on phones, but you can't play PC games on phones. That's pretty much. So you're pretty much stuck to Play Store or whatever like that. But you're not going to be able to like actually download full on PC games like you will on this Steam Deck thing. I think it's going to be, dude. I really think that they just caught Nintendo kind of off guard with this whole thing, because I don't think Nintendo was expecting them to come out with something this cheap, because there's been a lot of especially like GPD Win and all these other kind of little mini pocket PCs or whatever. Let's see. But yeah, hoping you guys love the gameplay. I know you guys obviously you want to see tech or whatever. So, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the specs here in just a second, and what the actual Steam Deck is all about. Let me check the comments real quick again. Daniel.
All right, I'm back, Magic.
All right.
Delicious sandwich.
Damn. So Nightbot deleted somebody's message. Bino.
Get wrecked.
What is this? Who is it?
So what did you say? You wanted to talk about the specs?
Yeah.
You want to go on to that? I mean, the specs are good. There's really nothing to really complain about. Nowadays we're reaching like a pinnacle in performance. So anything that's a 3080 and above is just going to be wrecking. And you got to remember, like, you want to be at 1080p, 60 FPS. Like, that's the goal. Esports go higher because they need the frame rate, right? Because they need to have that competitive advantage. But they don't need it in regular gaming. That's the whole thing. If, like, you'll see a more significant upgrade just by going to an SSD in your computer if you're using an older processor, or getting a 144 hertz monitor. Even though you're not hitting 144 hertz, you're still doing, like, 120 FPS. It's still nice. It's still very fluid.
I think we do need to give Steam credit though for actually coming out with the system at this price point, because thus far, I don't know if you know about the Win. What was it? The Win XP or Win? No, what is that thing called? The those small little, like, PC type things would look like a kind of like a mini laptop type thing. Those things were like $1,000 a pop. Oh, the Win GP.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's been some that came out like that, and for sure it's
But they're expensive as shit. They're no $400. Like, this is like the closest anybody has come to actually getting into, like, Nintendo Switch kind of or console kind of territory with something that's mobile,
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's definitely a good contender. It's all about minimizing the laptop, right? That's what the whole name of the game is now. It's like how thin, how small, how everything can we get everything down to, right? So the portability of it is really good. The 2 to 5 hour battery life, I'm not really too super happy about, because it looks like it's going to probably be only like an hour and 45 minutes, maybe an hour and 30. Because you can expect drastic decay with that, especially with the battery.
Oh yeah.
What kind of battery is it? How many recharges can we get? How long is this going to last?
Is it replaceable too? That's obviously it's probably going to be an enclosed case, so I don't think they're just going to let you swap the battery. But that would be nice, actually, if they were to let you just have another battery or buy another battery for the cheap.
Yeah.
Maybe $30, $40, $50 for another battery, then you can just swap the batteries if you really wanted to.
Exactly, but most of them solder in nowadays, and I actually just ran through a little bit more of the specs, and it's unfortunate because the 399 model has a soldered in eMMC SSD, so that's unupgradable. Now the 529 model has the 256 NVMe SSD. So only the 529 model is going to be upgradable.
Well, of course.
In terms of, like, putting in a bigger SSD.
Come on, I mean, you know how that goes. They don't.
I know, but it would have been nice in 399. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because the graphics isn't. The only thing that's changing with the price point is literally the storage. So they're trying to gotcha on that one, right? It's that min-maxing of performance I was talking about before, the value. Now these are real like statistical like formulations that people use to determine what is like the best product we put out there at the best price point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like in these sectors that are becoming more popular with people, especially after COVID, you know, you're seeing a drive towards portability gaming again, and you know, they're just taking advantage of that. It'll be real interesting to see, like, is it actually going to hold 30 FPS on all Steam games? If it does, I mean, it's pretty amazing, you know? And plus, it's 64 gigs. I'm not really too happy about 64 gigs, though. You know, 64 gigs is nothing for, like, AAA titles nowadays. Like, can we put Cyberpunk on this? Are we,
Fuck you very, very much.
you know, the thing, it's got, you know, the standard games that you would see on there: Grand Theft Auto, Control, Hades, Doom Eternal, right? But is it really going to bring it? And I'd like to see the heat performance on it too, like how hot it's going to get. AMD's pretty cool, but I mean, to the normal person, definitely a Nintendo competition for sure. Like Nintendo's definitely going to suffer because of this. It's going to have to make them bring out more titles.
Yeah, I've heard that they're the pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch, the OLED model, they were $350, but some people were getting $50 refunded or something like that. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like a mistake or if that's something that's going on.
Joy-Con jerk too. I like to see that because they mentioned that right away.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if this gets affected with the Steam Deck as well.
But I don't know. I say if you just want to play some games and you're more of not really a big Nintendo fan, $400, bro. I don't, and you just something for Christmas. Hell yeah.
But that's competing with an Xbox too. You know, you could take that $400 and just go get an Xbox and a portable monitor. Do the same thing, I guess.
True.
You got to see what they're marketing towards, right? So you have portability. You're talking about the people that commute to work and or they're at school, you know, or in college classes, you know. That's where this is really going to shine because we can't take an Xbox there, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But we still want to get our Genshin in, right? So, but is $3.99 worth playing Genshin on? Like, I don't know. Like, it's there. It's the value's brought. Like, no doubt. It's just gonna be performance. You know, how is it gonna test out of the box? What games are we gonna be able to play? What's the battery life gonna be like? You know, because it can't be plugged in all the time.
Okay, so we've been going for about 23 minutes now. So we'll probably go for another few minutes, and then we'll just end the video there, just to not make it like so long, super long. So if somebody wants to like replay and watch.
Yeah, I mean, we covered all the basic information. It's pretty much you know, what is going to bring you the value. $3.99 is pretty competitive. I would suggest you wait, see what happened. Wait for like some people to get their hands on it.
Yeah, but if you do that though, you're not going to be able to pre-order. That's the whole thing. They want people to pre-order and lock themselves in before the whole thing goes. You know.
I didn't catch how much it is to pre-order though. How much is it?
Just $5. It's not bad.
So, I mean, that's a wash. You know, you could pre-order it, and then if the reviews come out bad, just like don't even bother.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's worth it. If it was like a $50 pre-order, I'd be a little bit worried about that. But $5, they seem pretty confident that people aren't going to want to return them.
Yeah.
That's a value number for sure. Because people will do that.
So, like, I don't know.
I like
if
it,
for a kid, I don't know. Would you say this would be better for a kid? Switch Lite for $200 or this? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of content that's brought by this. I don't think a kid. I would say like a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, early college. commuter from work and stuff, like I might buy it just to take it to my job.
Hmm.
It depends. Like if it runs cool and it brings like higher than expected like battery life, and I get to play all these titles that they're flaunting right now, then sure. Like I can see that happening. But again, I did just buy like a $2,000 gaming laptop, so
Yeah, I think. Do you think they're being overly hyped with what they're presenting, or do you think they're actually giving factual, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think they're selling us a dream, or do you think it's gonna be what they say it is?
I mean, I think they're gonna bring it. I mean, you have to full send on this because if you don't, you're gonna look pretty bad, especially since most reviews, are very punishing
Yeah, I
when it
mean,
comes to companies doing that.
they have
So,
flopped a lot actually with their products that they have had in the past. Steam, at least Steam has, so
I mean, yeah,
remember those
probably
Steam
have.
machines they were touting?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Nobody, I don't think anybody ever bought those. And
But
those weird
but
Steam
Google's also done the
controllers.
same thing. Like
Yeah.
people, that's the thing. Like you got to remember, we're all still just people, right? They're these just people in design positions.
Yeah.
As long as people buy it too. Yeah, exactly right. People buy it and they know they're going to sell a certain amount, so their production, is only meant to serve that, AI generated number. Because you'd be crazy to think that they're not like bringing it down to a business perspective. And that's one thing I like to talk about, is separating like gaming from business, right? Because you see that in today's world a lot. World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Black Ops. Business is still a very key player, and businesses don't have any incentive to not make the maximum amount of profit off of something, right?
Hmm.
So if they know that they're going to be able to sell like X amount of like products, and they can put it in circulation, it's in favor for them. Whether or not they want to dominate the market's another. It's what their intention are. Like, are they even able to make like demand? is this gonna be is this gonna be a 30-80 scenario?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because you're not going to be able to buy it, dude. Once
Yeah.
it's so some people are going to get it and they're going to be like, oh, this is the best thing ever, and then other people are not, and then how are they going to deal with that? And then how long they don't have the mass production that Nintendo has. I'm pretty sure. Nintendo they know how to produce their shit and they even struggle. Nintendo even struggles, and they've been doing it for years. So just imagine a company that pretty much hasn't done anything like this.
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of the equation. I mean, I see this product as a good product in design, right? What they're feeding me, the images, what it looks good. You got aux cord Type C. You
Mm-hmm.
got a Switch design. You got the track pads.
Headphone
You got
jack.
X, Y, B, and A.
That's like non almost ancient technology nowadays, but it's still there. Thank God.
Yeah, and I just don't know. I just don't know how it feels, right? We don't know the soul of the machine yet. Like,
Yeah.
whether or not they're just doing it as a business stunt or not, it's not. It's not a
Yeah.
question. It's like when we get our hands on it, it could.
And is it gonna
And if it
hold
does,
up
well,
to
I
abuse?
do.
You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna, because you can't take the controllers off. So what happens when you mess up the controls? That's it. You're done.
Yeah, spare parts and stuff. Looks like it's gonna be a while because it doesn't have the mass production like Switch does, right?
Right. And you can't just. It's not like you can just take off the controls and then smack some new ones on and you're good to go. You're
Yeah,
gonna have to like open this thing up and or take it to a shop or something like that. I don't know how you gonna switch out the analog sticks if they get messed up. Especially if
that's the big problem.
it's portable, but it has full on sticks, so that might snag on something, and you might mess up the. So I don't know. Well, if you drop it, how durable? I don't know if this thing's gonna be as durable as a Switch. I mean, I think they dropped a Switch up like 10,000 feet or something, and it still worked.
That's true too. And I haven't seen any real like screen specs to it.
So,
Like no one can really give me like, is it Gorilla Glass? Is what type is it?
right?
Like it's
So
scratch resistant. Well, who doesn't put a screen protector on their stuff nowadays? But still, you know, it all plays a factor. And you know, there's not going to be many people, you know, modding it right away. Like the Switch has, like, you know, you get tons of different controllers, cheaper controllers, better controllers in some instance, because companies have started up to support that platform, just like you see with Xbox and PlayStation. You know,
yep. And
Steam's
it's
really going to have to hit it out of the park for people to really take them seriously in a portable handheld market, especially when they're demanding, you know, premium price. You know,
it's proprietary AC as well. It's not like just USB Type C like the Nintendo Switch. So if you leave your charger, you're done. It's not like Switch. You can just, you know, like, oh, USB Type C, you're good. You know, so that's kind of a thing too.
well, this one does have Type C in it,
But not
so
charging.
they went the right way.
Yeah.
Not with charging.
No, the charger is
I see
like
that.
the charger looks like a laptop kind of charger where you have the brick and all that.
Wow. Well,
So that's kind of a thing too. I hate
yeah,
proprietary.
that's a big thing.
I hate
that
proprietary
I
charging.
didn't even realize.
But you know, you lose that
Yeah,
puppy, that's gonna be, huh? Or you break that thing,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a bitch to get. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely see where you're going with that, and that is another huge factor. And it's probably like the most important factor, too, in a sense, because it's a portable design, right? But you have to charge around its charger. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a little iffy. Like, why did you choose that route? You know, why did you choose the 399 model to have the soldered SSD? You know, if they, it almost feels like they don't want to go to the best product, right? They're making it like gotcha in some kinds of ways, which is disturbing to see. Like, you know, especially when we have these 3080, you know, 14-inch laptops that are coming out. They're thin, under 4 pounds, and, you know, bring a pack full of everything. You know, you're playing every game at like 100 FPS and a plus on some of these. You know, is it worth the 399? Well, you wouldn't buy. I wouldn't personally buy the 399 because of the 64 gig right off the bat. Like that's just not enough space. I mean, I guess it is for like a game or two. That's fine, but
All right.
for the value, it would be at the 529 model. You know, because you get the upgradable SSD, then you can jailbreak it and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it.
All right.
Uh,
Above, I think we're gonna go ahead and just cut it here. So yeah, man.
Sounds good, man.
Hope you enjoyed being on the stream with me, man.
Yeah, glad I got to talk about the Steam Deck and point out some of its flaws and pros. It's fun.
Yep. Hopefully, I'll be able to have you on in the future.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Magic Tech Review signing off. Y'all have a good one.